Hi, my name's AnnMarie Preik, and I am your host for today's Second Act Living podcast. This is a place where people in the second act of their life can come together to talk, laugh, pray about everything that this stage of life has to throw at you. So please help me welcome today's guest, a returning guest, my husband, Austin Preik. We have been married. We just celebrated 25 years in October. He's a realtor, and we just launched, in addition to my midlife coaching business, we just launched a marriage coaching business together. So we are endeavoring in a whole new season of ministry and working together as coaches. So stay tuned on that one. So how we usually kind of jump in is rapid fire questions. But since some of these, I know, but you don't know, so why not? Let's just do it. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So when going on a date with me, would you choose Netflix and pizza or a romantic candlelit
Whatever
dinner?
you want. Just kidding. Actually, she doesn't want to make the choice. So I like going out for a nice dinner. I mean, we'll do plenty of Netflix and dinner, but and pizza, but going out for dinner. We're actually doing it twice this weekend.
I know. I'm excited. Two nice places this weekend.
That's right. Well, we're going on a double date with a friend that's got a new beau.
Yeah. So. Well, can you say a girl is a beau?
I don't know.
Okay.
A boo?
A boo. There it is. I know the answer to this, but it's actually kind of funny. When going on a trip, are you the planner or the passenger prince?
You'd think I was a passenger prince, but I am the planner. From A to Z, I take care of everything when it comes to trips.
Yeah, which is so unlike every single aspect of our marriage. I am the manager, the planner, 100%. Somehow, in the midst of our marriage with trips, he has turned into the planner, and he does a great job. So I'm just
I do.
Just show up.
And it's because I've made mistakes, and I've learned where not to cheap out and not make the right plans and things. I just go ahead and do it now.
Yeah.
Because we've had a few interesting
yeah
encounters and
the Bahamas was one of them.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. What has been your favorite item that you bought yourself this year?
This year?
Yeah.
2026.
Well, okay.
We're not...
This January to January. How about
that? I don't know. Maybe. I think I bought the smoker this year.
Oh, so that's a good one.
Everyone wins.
Yeah. That's a good one. And you've really honed your skills on that.
Getting there.
Yeah. I don't know if I know this answer. What is your bucket list vacation?
Oh gosh, so many places I'd like to go. I don't know, bucket list seems so constraining. I'd love to do New Zealand, Australia. I know they're not right together and that they're kind of two separate trips, but we've been talking this year about maybe doing Glacier is the next national park I'd like to do. Iceland would be cool.
Yeah.
Some cool hikey things.
Yeah. What's worse, waking up in the morning having no idea why your back hurts or finding more ear and back hair?
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I always say I go to bed at night and I'm like, body, listen, I'm just going to lay here. I'm just going to lay here and be quiet. And all you have to do is just heal a little bit. And then in the morning, sure enough, I feel worse than when I went to bed.
I don't get it.
And the ear hair and there's back hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gravity.
Gravity.
It's coming off my head, moving down.
What is your go-to stress reliever?
Probably jiu-jitsu's great.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and when you're in a role and somebody's trying to damage you and you're trying to avoid that and maybe damage them instead, you can't think about other stuff. So you can't think about your problems. It's kind of a nice little therapy session.
Yeah. Don't ask me what I think about jiu-jitsu. At least for myself.
Yeah.
What is one new skill or hobby you've always wanted to learn?
Every 5 years or so, I play guitar again, and I put it away for 5 years.
Yeah. You got pretty good. It
Golf.
was fun.
Golf. I'd like to
yeah.
maybe do okay at golf.
Yeah.
Would be nice.
Yeah, we definitely need to pursue that together. Mm-hmm. What is one habit or discipline that you have that has the biggest impact in feeling better or best?
Well, so September was a year. So we've been a year and 3 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
That Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every single week, unless somebody's sick or we're traveling or whatever, we get up and we go to the gym and lift heavy. So we've been doing that for well over a year, and that's been like significant for feeling better, I think.
Yeah, and just like having a shared activity together too. So not just like.
She can spot up to a certain weight, and then.
Listen, there's limitations. What is one piece of advice you would give your 20-something self?
Find AnnMarie quick and let her like get you organized.
I mean, that was kind of your story.
Yeah, I know.
We met pretty young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny, like going back to the whole passenger prince and planning. I didn't know it back then, but I was probably the biggest catalyst in you getting your life together.
Assuming it's together.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so why are we here together? The first time that he was on the show, he interviewed me talking about different seasons of life, different careers, and then entering into this whole new career of midlife, coaching midlife women, midlife coach, women primarily 40 plus. So kind of talking about that whole new transition. This whole podcast is second act, right? What do you want to do with the second act of your life? And I have chosen a whole new career path, and that is to coach women in midlife. So that was a fun interview. Mm-hmm. I always kind of joke with him. He has had a lot of careers, but in that interview, it was kind of like, oh, I have two. So
there you go.
It was revealing. Anyway, but I asked him to come on the show because I've had so many conversations recently, and in the conversation I have with my clients and just friends and whatever, parenting adult children. In midlife, parenting adult children, what does it look like? What should it look like? What are some bad habits? What are some things you need to unlearn? All the things, right? And
You're asking me?
We're doing it together. We have a 22-year-old and a 20-year-old.
Yeah, we don't have a teenager anymore.
No, we don't have a teenager
just
anymore.
Unteenaged last week.
Yeah, so we're kind of figuring this out together and reading a lot of books and as I'm coaching women in midlife through this very topic of how do you do this well, right? Because the ultimate goal is, to be invited into their life, Lord willing, they get married and have kids. We want to be invited into that, right? So the foundation kind of starts now. Like you just kind of have to start building that relationship and trust and relating to each other differently now.
So we start telling them how to parent now. So they can tell their future spouse how to parent.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because we did it perfectly.
Oh, yeah. Duh. So I thought this would be kind of fun to have him on and just kind of chat about like what's hard, what's easy, what's been fun, what's been revealing through this whole process. So I guess my first question for you is, when did it first hit you that our kids were becoming adults? Like, what did that feel like? What did that look like?
Yeah, well, so milestones, right? So obviously they're both driving. They're not quite adults yet, but getting towards that freedom, and we're able to, do more with our lives because they're off. They can drive themselves to practice or whatever. And then, the most recent milestone was our youngest not being a teenager. Mm-hmm. But then sandwiched in between that is them both going off to school or moving out or moving in and then moving out.
Moving out and moving back in.
Well, it's been kind of a bit of a gradual like toe in the water. Like one left, and then the other one left, and then one came back sort of a little bit, and one other comes back on break. And so it's kind of nice that we have seasons, like we had November, December this past year where both kids were living at the house.
Yeah.
And now they're both out again, and it's quiet again. So I think, I don't remember the question, but I think we talked enough that it's kind of answered.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's been like a slowly and then all of a sudden for me. You talk about that a lot.
Gradually, then suddenly.
Gradually, then suddenly. Yeah, that's for me. I think, being the mom, and even though I did work, I was the primary caretaker, right? Like, so you go through, you're in the nitty gritty, the day to day of their lives, and then it's that slow progression of not needing you anymore, not needing you as much anymore, at least physically. And then there's like that huge transition, I think, in adolescence where they might need you even more emotionally.
They need you, but they don't always want you.
Right. That's true. And depending on the personality of the kid, right? So then it was, and then it was on all of a sudden, especially with our firstborn, it was like a hard stop. It was, I got it. I don't want your help. Even though he probably needs my help. But
needs, not needed. Needs, that's singular. Or current, present tense.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was like a gradually then suddenly. Savannah's a sophomore in college. Yeah, she's thinking about getting an apartment. So it's like all these big things. You're like, oh, wow, they're adults, Yeah. Yeah. I guess just jumping right in. So what do you think has been the hardest part of learning this process of raising adult children and parenting adult children?
The hardest part, I think, is, I feel like Michael Scott and just kind of starting a sentence, not really know where I'm going yet. The hardest part of raising adult children,
parenting adult children.
Parenting adult, yeah, we're not raising them, they're raised, is, I think it's like just that aspect of letting go and watching them make choices that you probably would have not only not made for them, but you probably would have put the brakes on for them like years ago. And then just kind of letting it happen, and then, helping them deal with consequences, hopefully once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with that. Like I said, depending on who your kids are, their personality, and gender makes a huge difference too. Our kids couldn't be more different if we orchestrated it, I don't think. And, Savannah had a very, I feel, organic, natural growing up of needing me less and less, but it was kind of just like a natural flow of the relationship, right? And, she is willing to invite us in to her life. She wants our input, like she cares about.
You guys still talk every day.
Yeah. So that was fine in the letting go process, which was surprising to me because she's my youngest and my only daughter, and I thought it was going to be harder. It's hard letting her go, but because she's so willing to be engaged with us still, it hasn't been as hard. Where, Luke, my firstborn, you're just figuring out. You don't know what you're doing when you're raising kids. It's kind of, whatever. And he just always kind of needed me a little bit more. I joke, but I was kind of his prefrontal cortex there for a few years. So you get into a rhythm of doing, right? And then all of a sudden it's like a hard stop. I felt like it was a hard stop with him, and it was hard. The hardest thing for me was to stop chasing. Coming to the realization that the more I chase, the more he retreated, right? Which makes sense, but
it's like a dog when they run off and try to get them to come in the house.
The more you chase, the more they run away. So it took me a long time. It was a hard lesson for me to see that and to understand that. And I think you were trying to be helpful in kind of telling me that, and I just didn't want to hear it. You and Luke are very similar. So yeah, I
like
think
it
it
when
was
you chase me.
I think coming to the realization that I need to stop chasing, and I need to wait. And you need to shut my mouth and be invited in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still learning that. But I like, what you know to be true with your head and then the reflection of your heart, it can be a really big distance.
Well, I know you're interviewing me, but I'm going to turn it to tables for a second.
Okay.
How is your move into professional coaching? Like, you've done over 100 hours of paid professional coaching in the last year, plus all your classwork and everything else. Like, you're legit. How has that helped you communicate with adults, with kids?
Yeah. It's so interesting how the Lord works. I feel like learning this coaching journey and what coaching is an amazing reflection of what healthy parenting adult children is too. You don't give advice. You enter in, right? You wait to be invited in. You partner. It's the partnering. The more I learn about, and so this is some things that, I always kind of thought I was a good listener until I started my coaching training. And then I was like, oh, I don't think I'm a good listener. I think, discovering that maybe sometimes I would listen to lead the conversation, right? And in coaching, it's completely client-led, right? You are responsible for the process and they're responsible for the content, right? So it's been parallel learning, which has been really interesting. I wasn't expecting that, so that was an unexpected development.
Delightful.
Delightful development. Yeah. And I guess the next question kind of rolls into that, what does it feel like when you just want to jump in and fix? When you know you can, but you know you shouldn't, but you really want to?
Yeah, what does it feel like? I mean, it feels frustrating, especially if you're a fixer.
Yeah.
Which, that's one of my problems with listening sometimes is okay, we'll just do this. And anytime someone says just do something, it's probably not actually that easy. Yeah, jiu-jitsu, just get up, or, just follow the recipe, right? And I do, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just is kind of a bad word for that. But, it feels frustrating at times, but I guess there's also a bit of a, especially if you're a person of faith, there's a little bit of freedom and peace when you can get there. Okay, this isn't my problem. Of course, if they do something really bad, it reflects on me, and that's my pride and all, right? So we have that in parenting, but, chances are they're not doing something where they're going to die or, what is it? Don't add to the population. Don't subtract from the population, that kind of thing. Things generally can be, fixed.
Yeah.
Later down the road, and hopefully there's a lesson learned.
Yeah.
If they touch the stove. Learning.
That's the prayer, right? Learning. It's hard, and so this is where not even just fixing problems, but fixing heartache too. We've recently kind of experienced a little bit of some heartache our kids are going through, and I think we handled that initial conversation so well as a team. Yes, it really was I mean, we really did use it like coaching. Like it really was, they invited us in and we, you know, exploratory questions, really trying to keep our own biases in check. And
You were
it
driving through Columbia, South Carolina.
yeah. They called us and I was like, okay,
They.
well,
She.
okay, fine. I was trying to, but whatever. It was a she, it was Savannah. She called us and it was on CarPlay and when she started, you know, unfolding the situation, I was like, baby, is this something that you want both of us involved in or just me? And she's like, no, I want daddy too, which, come on, that's sweet. But it was like really sad. Her heart, she was just so sad. And like knowing that I can't fix that for her, it's hard. But like I said, I think we handled it really well. And I'm telling everyone this metaphor. My husband really came in clutch with the coolest metaphor I've like. Was it really on the spot? Like, was it truly spontaneous? I don't even know which one.
Yeah, this is what I do.
It's amazing. I'm going to tell you. So, you know, we're talking and Luke was like, not Luke, Austin said, Savannah, what's your favorite fish? And she was like, Dad, what are you talking about? He was like, just go with me. What's your favorite fish? And she was like, I don't know, probably grouper. And she was like,
expensive.
And he was like, okay. Do you think if you went fishing in like a mountain stream, mountain river somewhere, you'd catch grouper? And she's like, no. And he's like, well, you got to go where the grouper are. And I love this metaphor now. I'm telling everyone it because it's just so, and now it's like, it's part of our family. Like we've used it so many times. You got to go where the grouper are. But it's just been it was such a good teaching moment for you. You sat in it with her. You didn't try and fix it. You didn't blast the person that hurt her, right? Because that could have been bad too. If you immediately jump in with advice and like emotion and things like that, that's not great too. You can shut down the conversation and then they won't come to you the next time, right?
Right.
But I think that was a really good example of my heart was to make her feel better, but we just couldn't. So we just sat in it. We can only control our response. And you came up with a really good metaphor. And now it's just something like, not even just finding another boy, right? Like you got to go where the grouper are. Like if this is what's important to you, don't try and fish in a river, right? Like, but friends, whatever, anything in life that is important to you that you are discovering about yourself. Because I think she's kind of going through that too, the self-discovery of what do I believe? Why is this important to me? And then owning it herself. I think it'll be a really good continued Preik metaphor. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so like not just fixing a physical problem, but like fixing heartache too. It's been hard. Yeah. You know, we've talked about this before and how it affects our marriage.
Uh-oh.
And I think a lot of, not so much anymore, because we don't really fight anymore, honestly. Not much. But a lot of our fights sometimes have stemmed from disagreeing with parenting.
The other them.
The other them.
The he.
A lot of our disagreements have stemmed from not agreeing on how to parent firstborn. Yeah.
In the past. And I think, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So how has parenting adult children impact our marriage, do you think? The pressure points, the wins, like what do you think that looks like?
I mean, yeah, so our fights around Luke typically were, I felt like we should pull back and let him make certain mistakes and maybe fail classes or whatever. And I'm not saying that's the right thing because I might have went way too far one way. And then you weren't an Apache, but maybe a little helicopter at times. No, you weren't a helicopter. I don't think that's fair. But you definitely were the reason that he did as well as he did in high school, probably. So, without without your involvement, he may have fallen like flat, and that might have hurt his, you know, self-confidence, and like maybe he would have done worse and worse and spiraled down, you know, and then, or maybe, you know, we let him make some more mistakes, and then he coaching and he fixes himself, like realizes himself, things himself, and builds up later. Like we can't second guess. Anyways, so back then, sometimes I would feel like you were starting a conflict that we didn't need to have, and that would frustrate me. And then you felt like I wasn't having your back in it, because I'm like, deuces, peace out, smoke bomb.
We call it
whatever.
smoke bombing.
Like Batman
It's
disappearance.
Like, where'd Dad go?
Ninja, I'm gone.
Yeah.
But it is because I'm like, it's not my fight. I don't want to be in this. But then you felt unsupported. So we would get into conflict over that. Now that, like, there's still times sometimes I'm like, you need to text them about apartments again? You know, like it'll come up, but it doesn't, it's not like that big a deal. So it's not like bothering me. It's not like you're flying up there and looking at apartments and, you know, dragging them around and in that. And then I have your back on these discussions, you know, with the group chat, and
yeah,
he calls you more than he calls me, but
yeah,
which is fine.
Well, and so that's the interesting part of it, because why I think I had such a hard time stop chasing him, because truly, as much as we fought growing up, I was his emotional person. I was his person, 100%. I mean, I still tucked that kid in until he was like 14. Like, he just wanted time with me, safe, comfortable in his bed, just to chat, right? So that it was just a part of the dynamic of our relationship. So when he, around 17, when he really didn't want that anymore, it was hard for me. It was a hard stop that I wasn't ready for or anticipating. So to speak to, you think he calls me more, I think there's a history there of me being his emotional person that I think is still there.
And I think he's being intentional, because you've expressed, look, you've expressed to him that he doesn't have to, that you guys don't have to troubleshoot everything, and you don't have to mom him, but you just want to hear from him.
Yeah.
And that helps your heart, and that kind of thing. And I think he's a sweet kid, and he's just trying to be extra sweet to you, I think, in this time.
Yeah. I think he is expressing kindness to me. Yeah. Because he is such a sweet kid. He really is. And so that was another element. I missed him, right? When he started holding me at arm's length, I missed him. And I couldn't, and actually it was through coaching that kind of helped me put words to that, why I was struggling so much. It was like I missed the relationship. I missed that sweetness. Like, he is the kid who would, you know, I'd be on the couch or whatever, and he just
walks by and
just touch, or sit down with me and put his arm around me, and for no other reason but just he wanted the closeness, right? He stopped doing that at around 17. Incredibly enough, he's actually started doing that again. He's 22 now. Slowly but surely, it's kind of started happening again. So that's kind of really ministered to me. So whatever, anyway. But I think, you know, we have that foundation of emotional connection that maybe he didn't really have with you. Not like,
no,
I'm not complaining about that.
No, there's no,
there's
no, like, we have a good relationship, and we talk about what we talk about.
Yeah. And that's one thing, like, communicate your needs and wants, and then you need to stop. Then you need to, like, back up, right? Like, yeah, that's something that, be open and honest, but don't push and wait to be invited, right?
Yeah, but all that to say, the question was, how does it affect our marriage? And I think, honestly, now it probably affects us in a good way, because we're both pretty much in lockstep and agreement.
Yeah.
The boundaries are pretty close where we both operate.
And I am much more willing to hear you when you say, you need to stop, right? I did not take that well for many years, but now through coaching, truly, through being coached by myself and learning the coaching process and coaching other women who are going through this, I am much more willing to hear that and see it in myself. The self-awareness is much more there, like, I don't need to do that, right? I don't need to send that text. I don't need to send that reminder. It's not me. It's not, I need to stay in my lane, right?
And it helps too that I don't have object permanence very much. And
oh my gosh, it's so weird.
Out of sight, so somewhat out of mind.
It's so weird.
You know, it's like the baby, you have the ball, I'm like that, you take it away, I just forgot about the ball. You know. So I don't perseverate and think about it over and over and over again, where you'll wake up at 3 a.m. and
worry.
The wheels will start turning. And I'm just, I'd say snoring away, but my CPAP keeps me from doing that. So
praise Jesus for that CPAP, Alyssa. Yeah, oof. That saved our marriage. Anyway.
Yeah.
Not really, but sort of.
Not really, but actually.
Sort of. Yeah. We've already kind of talked about it already, a recent thing that I think we both handled well and that you handled really well. But what are some moments lately that have made you think, wow, we're doing something good. We did something right.
I think, and because we've already brought it up, you know, Savannah had a boy thing and she walked through that. And, you know, when everything went down and the breakup happened, I thought she handled it very, very maturely. I'm super proud of her, where she wasn't tearing him down. No. You know, there was like, hey, he could have done this way better. But generally speaking, like, go with God and like, I'm going to go live my life. And like you said, it's pushed you to try to find grouper, to get more involved in communities that share her values.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a challenge sometimes at SCAD for her.
Yes.
But seeing that she's holding those values that we've never like tried to push and force on our kids. We try to model it and teach it. And I mean, we believe what we believe. We speak about what we believe, and we have our opinions. We have our facts. We have all our things. But to see her like gradually more and more embracing them for herself has been pretty cool. And,
yeah.
I mean, Luke as well. He stopped by the rugby club the other day. So if he plays rugby, I played rugby in high school. That'd be pretty cool.
So cool. So cool. And so like outside of the box, never seen it coming.
Putting himself
like,
out there.
Putting himself something totally new and different and hard and whatever. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's us, like pat ourselves on the back for it, but you know, whatever. We parented them. So we'll take the wins. The losses are all them. The wins are all us. Losses are all you. The wins are all... No, I'm kidding. Probably vice versa.
What are some wins in our relationship with them now that couldn't have had when they were teenagers?
Yeah, I mean... I think just the wins of stepping back and... I mean, they're out of the house. Yeah. You know, when they're teenagers, they're here, so we're still gonna track them. Not Life 360, but Find My Phone. You can still see, she's at volleyball. Okay, she's home. She's that. Oh, you know, like we're still seeing them all the time. Now I know you don't even like to track them anymore.
I don't track them anymore. It was unhealthy. It was it was unhealthy. It was going against everything that I believed to be true was best, right? Yeah.
So just being out makes us have a little more faith in God and faith in them. And yeah, so that can be, obviously that could be stressful, but it can also be peaceful if like you can relinquish control and let it go. And then I don't have to own their decisions. I don't have to own what they're doing. They can own it and we can support as needed.
I mean, I think a spiritual win for me, which is something that wasn't anticipated, and honestly something that I didn't even know I struggled with. And that's another, circling back to coaching, what is this learning coaching journey or whatever, it is bubbled up to the surface things that I didn't know I struggled with, right? One of them is trust. I didn't think I struggled with trust until parenting adult children. It has been the one thing that has really revealed some disparity. Is that a word? Disparity there? It's not a word.
Maybe. I don't know.
Whatever. Learning that there is no growth in the comfortable. There's no growth in the comfortable. And you can't trust based on what you know or believe or shown, right? It's through walking through it, right? So I think it was something that needed to be bubbled to the surface, something that needed to be worked on, and the Lord has used my relationship with my adult kids to do that. Do you really trust me, right? Can you really trust me with your kids? Yeah.
If there's growth in the uncomfortable, then these stools are really causing me to grow. Because, anyways.
Going back to bad back.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, so like something that celebrating a win before they were teenagers, it's a personal win, a win of a deepening, an awareness first, and then a deepening in trusting that the Lord is good, that the Lord is sovereign, and that the Lord loves my kids more than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's really easy to say that and believe that in your heart, and believe that in your mind that it's true.
Just believe it.
Right. But to have that functionally play out in real life, hard circumstances, it's a whole nother level. Yeah. So thinking about the future, because we're coaches here, so it's future focused. Looking ahead, what kind of relationship do you want to have in the next 10 years with your kids?
So yeah, well, I joked earlier about let's teach our kids how they should parent, now. But, assuming, they could be married with kids 10 years from now. One of our biggest prayers is that they marry someone that we like, and that likes us.
Yes.
Especially him, right? Because a lot of times family follows the daughter or follows the wife. In that case, goes to the wife's family. But yeah, I want to have a relationship. I want Savannah and Luke to still be calling us, not just for help with a down payment or something, but because they want to talk and they want wisdom, and they're in the thick of parenting, and the baby's pooping his or her back, and it shoots up, and trying to get it, like just dealing with all the stuff, and just calling and being like, what is happening? I don't, this is so crazy, and just letting us be there for them, to vent to, or to give advice, or to help however, and take vacations together.
Oh yeah, I love that so much. Yeah. Yeah. I think I said it in the beginning.
The bill goes up because I think the parents always pay. I don't know. Maybe
I think that's how it goes, right?
Let's see how they do in their careers. Maybe they can get us to.
Heyo.
If anyone's looking to hire a advertising major or a post-secondary education teacher, okay, well that's not going to be a lot of income on that one.
You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I said earlier is I want to be invited into their, Lord willing, future families, right? Yeah. We want to be there. We want to be the grandma and grandpa. We want to be involved. So like the thought of how do we build that now? How do we lay the foundation for that now?
Yeah.
What do you think are some important building blocks for that, to build that foundation now?
So, honest, healthy communication. I don't think we hold back on things as far as like truth telling goes, but also at the same time, need to balance that with like freedom and space and autonomy. And even when they ask for something, then we give them the truth. We don't need to come in barging in and you know, saying, I notice you're doing this and this needs to stop. I mean, in extreme cases, there may be a place for that. But generally speaking, no.
Yeah.
So, but when they do come to us and invite us in to talk, I think we stand on our principles. We stand on our, biblical faith. We speak truth and love, and just they'll know that when they come to us, that's what they're going to get. That's one block, I guess. And then I guess another block is just continuing to have fun together for us.
Yeah.
So when they come into our house, it's not, my mom and my dad are going to be like all tense and have a household where it's not fun to come to. We want them to come in and it's like, hey, we're doing a fire tonight, pool's heated, come on in.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about kids yet, but once there's grands and stuff, then here's all the candy, here's the noisy toys, the drum kit.
Yeah, guitar.
Chocolate covered coffee beans.
Oh boy, I don't know about that, but yeah, that's interesting that you said about like the home. I hadn't thought about it like that, but that's how we orient our lives. Is you and I are very hospitable, hospitality focused. It's very important to us, and it's not just about like we like having people in our home, which we do, but it's about cultivating a warm, welcoming, loving environment where people feel just safe and where people feel comfortable and fun. And
if there's animosity between the two people that are living in the house together, it's you and I, then I think people can feel it. Like it comes through.
Totally. And there's an element of being cared for, right? I think, we live in such a individualistic, busy culture. I don't know if maybe outside of like your immediate family, if you can say that there's, that one place I always feel cared for, right? But that's our goal. Like that's our heart behind hospitality is warm, welcome, cared for, right? And, now that our kids are adults and they don't live here anymore, extending that same intention to them so they want to actually come back. Yeah, that's good. I never really thought about that, but that's a really good insight. Why wouldn't it be a natural extension of our already, bent towards hospitality is extending that hospitality to the kids and, to their future spouses and things like that. So they feel warm and welcome and wanted.
Yeah, because we've talked about that too, where, and even in our own marriage, we have to watch it. Like we will treat absolute strangers in the street sometimes better than the ones that we love the most. Like someone will bump into you in the street. You're like, I'll bring my Canadian out. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Like give them the benefit of the doubt. They didn't see me.
Sure.
We'll be in the kitchen. Maybe we bump into each other. It's like, what's where you going? Where are you getting in the way? I'm not saying we do that, but if I'm in your kitchen when when you're trying to work.
Yeah.
We tend to extend. So making sure that just as we try to make sure that we're extending benefit of the doubt to each other, we need to continue to do that towards our kids as well.
Yeah.
And treat them like strangers.
Yeah. No, it's giving them the benefit of the doubt, thinking the best of them, right? And so this is where I listened to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about this subject, and she was saying, be unoffendable with your kids. And I thought that was such an interesting way to say, don't take it so personally. Like, don't assume they're trying to hurt your feelings. Don't assume they don't like you. Don't assume, right? However, whatever the intended offense or whatever perceived offense, I guess that's better, is think the best out of your kids. And if they don't respond to you, don't assume it's because they don't love you anymore or however, dramatic the situation can unfold, right? Exactly. So, to be unoffendable. And in that, there's safety, right?
Thought of a good video hook.
Okay.
For a reel or something. You can tell people, you can say something like, treat your spouse like a stranger. Or treat your kids like a stranger, and then talk about that, how sometimes we treat
That's good.
strangers better. It shock people. I'm not treating my spouse like a stranger.
Yeah, no, that's good.
They're like, oh, it's so wise.
So I always ask my guests some element of advice, right? So what is one piece of advice you would give parents coming into this season?
I mean, we talked about it already with building blocks, I think, a little bit. So I think communicating expectations is huge, especially like when one of our adult children moved back in for a little bit. We came up with a list of really 5 things, and
non-negotiable.
It was like, hey, you're welcome to be back here. Here are 5 things that we expect, and he was fine with them. And
eventually,
yeah, well, there was one that he'd push back on, but whatever. That means you're doing something good. But so we communicated the expectations, but there was no like animosity or judgment really tight. It wasn't like a judgy thing. It was just like, hey, this is what's going to make this work. If you don't agree to this, we have confidence that you'll take care of business and find a place to be, and all of that kind of thing. So I think on one hand, setting boundaries that are actually good for your relationship. But then on the other hand, like not being an overlord about it too. And like we weren't being completely ridiculous. Like you're going to do the dishes twice a day and you're going to vacuum the floorboards or the baseboards. Do you vacuum baseboards? I don't know. All the you're not going to like be the wicked stepmother either.
Yeah.
And abuse the relationship. So kind of finding that balance a little bit. And then I think a lot of what you've been saying is just wait on some things just to be invited in. Like, don't have to insert yourself. Maybe learn to ask good questions. Take an interest in. See, I don't want to give my secrets away in case he watches this, but sometimes, like, if I'm texting Luke and I really need a response,
maybe he's not going to watch this.
Not to the end. This is towards the end. I'll text him like a Star Wars meme or something that's just gonna hook him in, and then when he comes in, then I'll ask the question right under that because I know I've got his attention. But I'm not gonna like, why aren't you responding to me? Why don't you love me? And then call, and let's find something in the middle.
Yeah, no, that's good.
He's an adult. He has a life. He's doing things. He shouldn't be sitting on his phone. Like, how dare I expect him to return a text within 3 hours? Because what if he's out hiking? Like, I want him to put his phone down and be away from it, and yet I want him to respond in 5 minutes. Those two things, they don't fit, right?
Yeah.
So if he takes a day to get back to me, I should be okay with that.
Sure.
Although I do know he always has his phone with him, but
always.
Let's benefit of the doubt. Right?
No, for sure. No, that's good. I filmed a reel yesterday, and one of them talking about making very clear expectations for the relationship moving forward, and it was talking about like if you choose to help your adult kids financially, right? Like that's what it was in reference to. But I mean that's across the board. If at some point your kid needs to move back in for whatever reason, like we did, make very clear, written down contractual expectations. So there's no animosity, no potential animosity, no hurt so it's all clear, right?
It's kind of a policy protects kind of thing. It's like, we all agreed to this. What's changed?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah. And remember parents, this is hard. Like it's a work in progress. It's a daily reminder. It's a daily keeping each other in check. It's, and one thing that is important is apologize. Like when you mess up, when you know you've messed up, when you know you've come in too hot, when you know whatever, when you've come in too demanding or whatever, own it quickly and apologize, right? Make that repair. Because it's conflict it's not the conflict necessarily that hurts the relationship, it's the lack of repair, I think. So, yeah, that would be what I would say.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being a part of this conversation with us. We are here for you. I am here for you. If you're interested in pursuing coaching, if you're a woman in midlife and you just need a thought partner, please message me. I would love to be that for you.
She's so wise.
And anyway, thank you for being a part of the show.